There we go. Well, Terry, thank you so much for joining us. Andrea has always been so kind as to invite some of her customers to talk about some different destinations. And tonight we're going to talk about Spain and Portugal, which is a very popular program for us. But before I do that, I kind of want to tell you who we are as a company so that you feel comfortable in traveling with us. It's time to travel. Let me tell you what, after the last 2.5 years, the phones have been ringing off the hook. People are ready to travel all over the globe. And luckily we do that. We travel over all the continents, but Antarctica. We did that prior to the pandemic. I hope we have a chance to get back to that destination. But we have over 500 different vacations all over the globe and a multiple of styles that we do. So again, a little bit about Globus, why travel with us. We have 4 different brands under our umbrella. It's Globus, our first class escorted product. Cosmos, our affordable escorted product. Independence by Globus, which is actually the new moniker for our product that starts next year for independent travel, and then Avalon Waterways. So we do quite a bit all over the globe. And why do an escorted trip with us? Well, so much is included. We add a lot of things into the trip before you go, and we kind of just make it hassle-free and take care of all the details. Great transportation. Our motor coaches are large enough to hold 55. But we only put 44 max on our motor coaches. I'm 6'3", so I love that extra leg room that we offer. And our typical tour size is around 37 or 38. Great hotels, superior first class or above, and they are in the must-see sites. So they're in the center of town, close to all the destinations that you want to visit. I think the most important aspect is that VIP circle right there, skip all the lines. So the ability to get to a site, not wait in line, especially a place like the Coliseum or something like that, where there's a 2-hour wait. We are able to get right in, get into that destination, let people enjoy it, take their pictures, and then be able to move on. I think one of the misnomers about escorted touring is that they feel all their time is taken and dedicated, but by being able to do the VIP access, we're able to get into a site, get out, get onto another site, and see more during the course of the day than if you didn't have that opportunity with VIP access. That tags into freedom. So by being able to get into those sites, get in, get out, you really have more freedom during the day to do different things. And our tour guides have averaged of about 20 years of experience with us. And that certainly makes for a fantastic experience. They bring the destination to life. They knew all the small stories and the secrets about all the destinations we go to. So that's really the hallmarks of why traveling with Globus is so beneficial. VIP access, as I mentioned. So look at that beautiful fountain right there. I don't know where you guys are located, but it's pretty warm over here in Georgia today. We got a fall heat wave that came in at over 90 degrees today. So,
oh my goodness.
That's the heat wave we had last week.
Oh, yeah, that's it. You guys did have a heat wave. You're on the West Coast, aren't you, Terry?
Yes. Uh-huh.
Oh my gosh, yes, you did. Very warm out there. So 100 sounds cool to what you guys had, I think.
Well, I'm on the beach, so it didn't get quite that hot.
Well, there you go. You got that wonderful beach breeze keeping you cool. So here's the highlights of the trip here. This will give you an idea. So what we do is the green city, the green dot is the start city, and the red dot is the end city. And you can see all the different the different routings and cities that we'll be stopping along the way. Vacation highlights, as we'll see on the left-hand side here, Barcelona, the welcome dinner, which is always nice to be able to meet the other passengers in the group. Guided sightseeing, the Sagrada Familia, the basilica there that everybody's always so excited to see. Panoramic view from Mount Juice Hill. Pardon me for some of my Spanish pronunciations, because they may not be completely on target. Of all the continents I've been to, I have not been to Spain. My wife had a chance to go, and it is on my list. And we have a river cruise product that's going to be cruising Portugal in 2024. So I better get up on my my terminology. But Cordoba, walking tour there, Seville, Setúbal, Azitao, the additional tile workshop, and then of course back to Lisbon from there. And you can see the stop. So anywhere that you see a circle and a number, that's the number of nights you'll be spending there. 2 nights in Madrid, where there's a circle but no number, that's like Cordoba. That is just a stop. And then down to Seville from there for 2 nights, and then on up to Lisbon from there. So let's walk through the itinerary and get an idea how this wonderful tour is going to take place. We got to get there, so we got to fly. And Andrea, I know that you offer your customers, if they want to, they can go down and a day early or a day late. They can always extend with us if they'd like to and spend a little extra time if they want. Certainly available to do so. We have lots of different programs there with pre and post hotels. So overnight and start heading east. Wow, just that picture itself. Look how great that is. Arrive in Barcelona. Look at all the wonderful architecture there. And what an amazing sunset photo they have there. Obviously set in the west. Beautiful start to the trip in Spain and Portugal. Day 2 in Barcelona. And I'm going to read some of my notes so we know exactly what we're going to be able to see. So y'all, you'll be doing some sightseeing with a local guide to the Columbus Monument, the Plaza de Catalunya, Paseo de Gracia, and you'll have a chance to go to the Basilica, which is going to be one of the highlights of that trip. Gaudi's masterpiece with all that wonderful tile work that he's done there. Have a chance to see the panoramic view of the city, which we're seeing here. And then you'll have an afternoon optional excursion opportunity at Montserrat that can be arranged. And there's so many inclusions with our escorted tour. There's a lot of things that are going to be included, but there will be some optional tours that are included throughout the trip. There's the Basilica right there in the center. Kind of one of the great cathedrals in the world. We have a chance to visit that. Day 3, Barcelona to Madrid. So you wake up in Barcelona and you work way over to Madrid from there. You'll go through Catalonia, the Aragonian landscape, and a journey to Madrid. Of course, the capital of Spain since 1561. Again, that beautiful Spanish architecture we'll get a chance to see. You'll get a chance to see. Hopefully, I'll go. Day 4, Madrid. Madrid today is a strikingly modern city, the showcase of the country resolutely turned towards the future. Your local guide takes you to Puerto del Sol, Plaza de España with its monument to Cervantes, Parliament, Cibeles Fountain, the elegant Calle Alcalá, and Paseo de Castilla. Today's highlight will be a visit to the Prado Museum, founded in 1819. Considered one of the finest collections of European art in the last 8 centuries. With the works of Goya, El Greco, Rubens, Titian, and more to make the most of your stay. Optional excursions are also going to be available during that particular day. There's Puerto del Sol, beautiful. So I love that with European cities, they have a big square with so much happens on those areas. This is the Cibeles Fountain. And day 5, you can see here, this is a 3-day trip from Madrid, Cordoba to Seville. So you have a chance to stop at all 3. You will be stopping just for a short stay in Cordoba to see that wonderful destination and then move on from there. So day 5, you'll drive through the arid landscapes that Don Quixote made famous in La Mancha to Cordoba. The sightseeing with the local guide includes the medieval Jewish quarter, the Mosque of the Caliphs, famous for its 850 pillars, marble, jasper, the Roman bridge, and the remains of Alcazar. Your next destination is Seville, the vibrant festival capital of Andalusia. So I think this day is going to be wonderful, being able to see all these wonderful cities along the way. There's the mosque. And then day 6 in Seville. Again, look at that beautiful Spanish architecture there from the top of the building there. And then on day 6, during your guided sightseeing tour, you'll hear about the city during Roman times, its conquest by the Moors in the 1712 AD, and its contribution to the discovery of the New World. Admire Maria Luisa Park, the Golden Tower, and the university where it was once the tobacco factory of Carmen fame. Also visit the magnificent Casa de Palatos, a mixture of Moorish and Roman architecture with splendid collection of Roman sculptures, then stroll through the narrow lanes of the charming Santa Cruz Quarter. For those interested in an optional excursion, there's a guided visit to the cathedral if you'd like. And this evening, the dinner has been prepared by an Andaluz restaurant with a flamenco entertainment. So you'll have the dancers that evening in a traditional restaurant, and that'll be a spectacular day to be able to enjoy that after a long day of touring. Here's the Casa de Palatos. You can see the Moorish influence there for sure. The Santa Cruz Quarter. And this is the optional excursion that we'll offer that evening to the cathedral. And you can see how old that cathedral is there. So an opportunity to see that. There are lots of inclusions. There are some optionals. And then it gives you the opportunity to kind of do some things that you might want to do while you're on tour yourself. So day 7, kind of a busy day here, going from Seville into Portugal and then on to Lisbon from there. But you can see the coastal city there. Along the, you can see the river coming out along the bridge, beautiful area there. And scenic drive today takes you to Portugal, stop in Setúbal with this colorful food market and visit traditional tile workshop before arriving in Lisbon, a proud capital of Portugal. I just love parts of Spain with the colorful painting that they do on their buildings, the bright colors. And day 8 in Lisbon, boy, does that ever come to life there with looking at all those beautiful buildings right there on the coast. So day 8 in Lisbon, it's the center of Europe's long-lived overseas empire. Portugal's imperial ambitions date back to Prince Henry, the navigator's 15th century discoveries of West Africa. Morning sightseeing with a local guide features a drive through Viaxa Quarter, main squares, and a walk along the cobblestone the alleys of quaint Alfama, the popular quarter of the seamen and the fado singers. Drive along the Grand Avenue to Pompal Square and stop to take pictures of the Belém Tower and the monument to the discoveries. Also visit the church where the tomb of Vasco da Gama is located. And of course, that evening you'll have the farewell dinner where you'll meet at the hotel and have a chance to kind of reminisce with everybody about the wonderful sights you've seen along the trip. Day 9 is you wake up in Lisbon, and you can, of course, extend from there if you'd like, stay a little bit longer, or head off to another destination in Europe. But that is kind of the overview of that itinerary. And certainly on my bucket list, having not been to, my parents had gone to Lisbon years ago, and the stories that they told really makes me eager to venture to that destination. And again, my wife had a chance to run around Spain for a little bit with her girlfriend. So it's certainly on my list. I've been more up in the Central Europe part. But with that, Terry, you got any questions about it or about what we do as a company? We take care of all the details. All you have to do is show up. And of course, Andrea's taking care of all the details with that.
What exactly is the name of this tour?
It's oh gosh, it's a good question. Let's see here. What's back to the part? Highlights of Portugal and Spain. Which I can think it actually is that. And
that's what, 9 days?
Yes, ma'am. Well, 9 days you'll end with basically with your travel days that you got to include.
2 days travel.
Yeah.
Right.
So really kind of an 8-day full day. So when you arrive there day 1, that's going to be a full day. And that's why I always recommend going in that day early, so you have a chance to kind of get your clock set right and give you a chance to rest up a little bit before the tour starts, and maybe even extend an additional day on the backside. But of course, that's certainly up to your ending in Lisbon at the end of the trip. I think I would want to spend maybe a little more time down there and venture out to see a little more of the destinations in Portugal, because you're only there for a couple of days.
Yeah. How many people are in this group, this tour group?
Well, typically our groups run up to upwards of, they could be max of 44, or typically, like I mentioned earlier, 37 or 38, or how our tours run.
Now, how much free time do you actually get in this tour?
Well, when I talked about the VIP access, the ability to get into a site, be able to get in and get out, gives you more free time to do that, to have during the day. So you'll probably do, depending on the schedule, some days you'll have a morning and an afternoon tour. Some days you'll maybe just have a morning and have that afternoon off in the destination, or vice versa, depending on the routing of the trip. So we don't want to take all your free time. We want you to have a chance to kind of roam around, do your own thing, and explore.
Yeah, I'd like tours where, they kind of give you an overview of all the places and then say, you have this, at least an afternoon free to do whatever you want.
True. And while you're on one of those tours, typically what they have on those, the tours of the different cities, they'll have time at the end where you have a chance to kind of wander around and do your own type of thing. And then they'll tell you to meet at a meeting point back later on before the motor coach either goes to another city or goes to the hotel from there.
Yeah, a lot of them will like drop you off at the hotel and say, okay, you have the whole afternoon where you don't have to work. Oh, was the bus leaving? Do I have to get back?
No. We want to make sure we provide some of that time where you're not go all the time. You got to have some chance to take a breath. And again, by being able to get in those sites and not wait and like to get into the cathedral and not wait in line to get in there, boy, you're able to get in, enjoy it, take your pictures, spend that time, and then get out and be able to go on and do something else. So you're not standing in line because of the VIP access. Globus has been around for 94 years. We have a lot of clout in Europe. We're a Swiss company, and that has really given us the ability to, we do more because we can get in and we can get out.
What exactly are the dates of this tour that Andrea is planning?
So that's a great question, Terry, and that would be great if I had it in front of me. Hold on one second. It was what we were looking at. And it's flexible because honestly, Terry, when I posted it, I was choosing a date. I believe it was in October, but let me just take a look. But Eric, correct me if I'm wrong. This tour is offered multiple times throughout the year, correct?
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's one of our bigger sellers. We have some tours that operate. Our season typically runs probably around mid-March, April, all the way until about early November. That's typically it. We're even running some off-season programs that we're doing for, the hotels really like us when we can put people in their hotels in, November to March over the course of the winter months. But that's the seasonality for the most part is spring to fall, late fall, do most of these programs. But again, we're all over the globe. I mean, we're in South America and Asia and Africa, et cetera. But Europe has always been a bread and butter program for us.
So Terry, I'm trying to look at the exact dates, but I think Eric kind of explained. I was really looking for after the busy season. I was looking for
I only travel in the spring and the fall. I don't do summer.
No, I don't blame
you.
you.
And I feel that most people.
And I find like when I went to England in the beginning of November after the time change, it gets dark very early.
That is true.
Well, the families and the kids are all traveling during the summer months, and
well, Spain is awfully hot in summer also.
And August, everybody's on vacation. They're all on holiday. So a lot of things are closed in the fall, in August also, and things start to cool off a little bit there when you get closer to the fall. I think that's a time to travel through Europe.
I prefer, April, May, and then end of September through the first part of November actually to travel.
Absolutely, and anything in October is pretty nice in Europe.
Almost anywhere actually.
Yeah, I agree. I'm down here in Georgia, and boy, I'm ready for a little cool weather.
Actually, here the best time to come is right now. You don't want to come in summer. You don't want to come in June.
That is true. So Terry, I was either looking at the October 1st through October 9th, which is the same itinerary, Barcelona to Spain, or October 8th through October 16th. So I was looking at October when I was looking at this itinerary for our meetup group.
Okay. Well, my granddaughter's birthday is October 2nd, so I don't travel on that day.
There you go. So anything at the next week would be wonderful. And that sounds like a perfect time to go. Weather-wise, that's for sure.
Well,
Okay.
especially here, Terry, because it's going to be warm here. You know, September and October, we typically heat up a little bit where we
Yeah.
are, you
Yeah,
know, so it would probably be a nice time. According to what I'm looking at right now, there's only 2 seats remaining on the October 8th itinerary, if this is correct.
is that for next year?
That's actually for this year. Let me look at next year's. Hold on. I was like, wow, they're like seriously like booking
Well,
up.
you know,
No,
there are
that's
some
this year.
destinations people have been chomping at the bit for to really
Oh,
jump
yeah.
on some trips right now, and next year looks really, really strong. Our goal was to do about 70 to 80% of what we did in 19, and we're real close to doing that, which is a really nice surprise for us. But we know next year people haven't traveled for a year, 2 years, 2.5 years. They are really saved up, ready to travel, and I think people are doing bigger, better, is what I've seen, having been in the business for 35 years. That people, they've been stowing away the vacation dollar for a little bit, and they're ready to go. Whether it be just around the block or another state or another country, people are ready to move.
I agree. Okay, so Terry, the dates would be October 7th, 2023 to October 15th, 2023. And obviously we're looking at, and that's only showing 1 seat remaining. And I'm looking at 2023. So Eric's right on the dot there for that particular departure, but there's other departures as well. But the October 7th, 2023 is only showing 1 seat at this time.
Wow, I don't plan a year ahead.
Yeah,
But
you know,
he's-
Terry, you're right on target when you talk about the weather. I mean, that weather is that
Yeah.
particular time so nice, and that's why those are already looking pretty popular.
Yeah,
Okay, well,
that's what's
Just-
for
just
October. If you wanted to
23.
do springtime, Terry, if you were more interested in the
Yeah.
springtime, there's some availability right now that I'm looking at. End of April 2023 to May 7th, 2023. And then there's May 6th through May 14th. Now that's the tour itself. Obviously, like you said, you have 2 days of travel time. And if you wanted to stay a little bit longer, I know coming from California, you know, I usually spend a little bit more time just because it's such a long haul to get there. And I might as well use the time up, but there are some May dates also. So there's the May 16th through May 14th. And then there's also a May 13th through May 21st, 2023.
okay, well, my sister was thinking of coming with me.
Okay.
No, but she lives in Wisconsin.
Okay, well, we can get her there. That's not a
Springtime
problem.
But there are
ready.
also certain times she doesn't like to go. She's a big gardener. So
Okay.
sometimes in spring is the big cleanup from winter. And then the fall, there's the big cleanup from summer. So, you know, I don't know whether she's actually going to go or not. So
Okay.
I have to get with her. So how much are these tours cost?
Well, they rate depending on the date that you go. I don't know, Eric, if you want to jump in on this or if you want me to just kind
Well,
of.
there's seasonality of them all. I don't know off the top of my head what the price is. You're looking at the on the portal there, so I would go ahead and tell her what that runs. But it gets higher during the summer. Shoulder seasons are a little less than that. But I think you're looking for more shoulder seasons anyway. Kind of May, April timeframe, or that late September, early October. Those go into shoulder season a little bit. So summer is always a little bit higher.
Right. And then the other thing too, Terry, is that they do, and correct me if I'm wrong, Eric, but they also offer some smaller group itineraries as well. I know Eric had said that, you know, 37 to 38 is typical. It could be up to 44, but if you wanted a smaller group, that's something that we can look into.
And Terry, we started that off during the pandemic. We've
Right.
always done our small group discoveries in some of our exotic destinations, Africa, South America, Asia, etc. Just because it's smaller groups have always been have a tendency to be a little more popular in the exotics. But we started doing that. I guess we started rolling that in the fall of midsummer 21. We're now doing those small group discoveries in Europe and North America, which has been hugely popular for us, for people that wanted to have from the pandemic, travel with smaller groups. having a smaller bubble to be in. And I think those max are 28 on those small group discoveries, and they'll be noted in the portal, Andrea, of those dates where that's
Right.
available. And I imagine they're doing fairly well because people are excited that we're offering those small group discoveries now. Same experience, just fewer people.
How much is a single supplement? Should I not get anyone to go with me?
Let's see here.
It gets expensive. It's it's probably what, 50%.
That's high. A lot of them don't charge that much.
Well, I'm just guessing off the top. I know we have a river cruise product. We don't charge any supplement at all on certain departures. But do you see what a supplement is on there, Andrea?
I don't see. I'm looking at a pricing. It's bringing up one departure. It's actually bringing up one departure in 2023 for the highlights, and I'm taking a look at it right now. So let me see if I can see the single supplement on here or not. And Terry, you and I can always, chat separately, so we don't have to keep Eric on the pricing.
That's right. Yeah, I mean, the only reason I don't know, Terry, off the top of my head is I have over 500 tours.
Yeah, I looked online for this tour, and it's really weird. It's got like 2 tours, one for spring, one for fall. Your website's very confusing.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that. I know that we have tons and tons of products, so it's you have to. There's probably so many different tours just to.
Well, I Googled Spain and Portugal, and it came up with two highlights of Portugal and Spain, and one was for certain dates and one was for certain other dates. So
that is correct. And we have those ones that and I mentioned our off-season program that we run from like October to March. Those are off-season. Then we have one during our peak season when the weather's nice, which is going to be basically May, early October. So it's the same tour, different times of the year.
Yeah, I just found it confusing to have to go to 2 different tours to look for the same tour at different dates. It's nice to scroll down and see them all.
Yeah, it's a different.
And that's something that I can send you, Terry. Once you kind of narrow down if you want to go in the spring or the fall, I can always send you what the itinerary is, so you don't have to go crazy trying to figure it out online, because sometimes that gets overwhelming.
Yeah, I love school. I like paper. I mean, does Globus have any printed catalogs anymore?
No, ma'am, we do not. We are saving trees.
Yeah, most companies aren't giving us printed catalogs anymore. Everything is
that is a product of COVID, and I'm not necessarily a happy camper about that, but it is what it is at this point.
I mean, I've got some companies that have sent me one. I just got one today from Go Ahead Tours, and I know I've got one coming from what's the other one? And I know
those tree killers.
Yeah.
Most of the companies
but I like to skip it. And
I absolutely, I love that. I got a garden and gun that I get here, and I love thumbing through it. But I'll give you a statistic just on storage alone for brochures. And we used to have 19 different brochures that I used to carry in my trunk. And we saved upwards of $2 million just on storage of brochures. So during the pandemic, we're all trying to find every little avenue to kind of stay viable and stay in business for another 94 years. And printed brochures are a temporary casualty of that.
Okay. Did we find a number for single supplement? Because I know I can.
I do not. I only see right now, honestly, Terry's. I only see one itinerary that's coming up, and it is $22.79 for the tour. I do not see a single I don't see single supplement listed anywhere where I'm looking. So I would need to look into that further. The $22.79 is just the tour itself. It does not include the airfare. And that's for that October 7th, 2023 departure.
Okay.
Just to give you an idea.
Okay. But
I will definitely dig into it a little bit further and see if I can find if it mentions single supplement somewhere. There's a lot of wording here, so there's a lot of things for me to scroll through. So I can let you know on that.
And we request those
to the point where, that's one of the things I compare. Okay, how much is a single supplement? But a lot of them say, well, you got to call to get it. Well, Then they
Right,
got
right.
you and you keep getting the emails and the texts and the phone calls and
Yeah, I hear you. I hear you. I think you and I need to just kind of have a conversation,
yeah.
and then we can kind of go from there and see what you're thinking, and then I can get more information from you.
Andrea, you
from
can
that.
reach out to me tomorrow. If you can't find that information, I'll be able to track it down through the back door and make sure we get an accurate quote what a single supplement would be if you can't find it.
Thank you, Eric. Thank you. I appreciate that. Sound good, Terry?
Sounds good.
Excellent. Do you have any other questions while we have Eric on the line?
Nope. That's
Right.
it.
Excellent. I will reach out to you, Terry, and we'll talk. And Eric, I appreciate your time. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. I know it's late for
Pleasure.
you,
Thanks
so
for
have a
doing this,
good night.
Terry.
Okay.
Have a good
Take care,
evening.
guys.
Bye, ladies.
Bye-bye.
All right. Bye.